Welcome to Rapid Fire Wednesday, Q&A for corporate professionals. I'm Kimberley Robidoux, a partner in our San Diego office. And I'm here today, as always, with Miki Matrician, who's the co-managing partner of our Boston office. And for today's installment of Rapid Fire Wednesday, like many of you, we are easing back into the workforce and getting things caught up after the holidays and just getting together again with all of our colleagues as people kind of filter back into the office. So we thought that we would wish, number one, everyone a happy new year. And two, that we would share some of our favorite traditions over the holidays. So to kick it off in 2025, we wanted to share how we celebrated and also what we learned about the impact of immigrants and how they have impacted our holidays here in the United States. So Miki, we know that New Year's is a holiday that is culturally significant to you. Can you tell us how you and your family celebrate it?
Yeah. So as with most Japanese people, we celebrate it with traditional foods. And so starting off on New Year's Eve, we eat noodles and hope for a long life because noodles are long. And that's kind of a funny tradition. And then on New Year's Day, we visit with family and we eat osechi ryori. And that is like basically comprised of several staple dishes that that we have on New Year's Day. And a lot of the dishes are there because of a play on words. For example, medetai means like celebratory. And the tai part is basically a kind of fish, sea bream. And so that's why it's part of the New Year's dishes. And then dried sardines, it's called tazukuri and means like rice field making. And it's, again, like a play on words because sardines are historically used to fertilized rice fields. And then my favorite is kurikintong, which is sweet chestnuts with like mashed sweet potatoes. It's so good. And that symbolizes wealth and bounty. And then there's the red and white kamaboko. Those are the fish cakes that you might see on top of like ramen noodles. And that represents sun at daybreak. And so, a lot of things are red and white because red is an auspicious color. There's also herring roe, which symbolizes fertility. And so all of the dishes are meant to bring like good fortune, good health, and and good luck. And then my husband's mother is from China. So we also celebrate Chinese New Year on the lunar calendar, where we basically eat lots and lots of homemade dumplings.
Sounds yummy, especially those sweet chestnuts. Incredible.
What about you, Kimberly? How do you celebrate the holidays?
Yeah, so I grew up Catholic, and we celebrated Christmas, and New Year's was pretty low key, but on New Year's Day we always went to my grandma and Grandpa Beth. So my grandmother always cooked duck and peas. That was our New Year's Day tradition, which was a lot of fun. But in just like looking at the history of immigrants and the impact on the holidays in the U.S., it was fun to do that during the end of the year and just kind of see, especially given what we do and having grown up in a neighborhood that did have a lot of immigrants from Europe. My family on my dad's side is specifically from the UK and from the Netherlands. And one of the things that I had learned is that Sinterklaas is a Dutch adaptation of St. Nicholas, and it evolved into the modern Santa Claus in the US. So that was really interesting to me to see how that had come from the Netherlands. I mean, I always thought about it before, but, especially with the wooden shoes and the presents that were in there. My grandparents had done that for us one year after my grandmother visited the Netherlands for a business trip. So she always liked to incorporate things that she learned from cultures abroad. So it was really fascinating to me to learn a little bit more about that. And then also learn about the custom of decorating Christmas trees was pretty much after Prince Albert introduced it to England, and then the German immigrants brought it to America. So just a little bit of, history about how much immigrants really do have a wonderful impact on our holidays here in the U.S. and how they influence how we celebrate, and we all come together, right, and celebrating as a country. So that was really exciting. So how about you, Miki? Any other traditions that you have that you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, so for the Christmas holiday, we have a pretty intimate family gathering, and often we have out of town get relatives that bring their kiddos, and my kids are grown, so it's really fun to have little kids around for Christmas. They get so excited over presents, and that's a delight. And then this year, I had the pleasure and the honor of being invited to celebrate Hanukkah with some dear friends, and that was really special. I learned that Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe brought many of the Hanukkah traditions that people observe here in the US, like lighting the menorah and eating fried foods like latkes. And I guess the those traditions kind of got more prominence in the US during the mid 20th century, as Jewish communities wanted to create a visible presence alongside Christmas. And so the celebration itself was wonderful. We had the potato pancakes, the latkes, and sufganiyot. I'm saying that right. Those are basically jelly filled donuts, and yeah, it was wonderful. So, what about you, Kim? Other traditions? I know you have some. You post something that's big, right?
Yeah, yeah, we do. So when Scott, my husband, and I first moved into our house, we wanted to do a housewarming party after we got things settled. And moving in here in August, it kind of took us until almost November to get settled. And at that point in time, it was like, oh, it's the holidays. So we had decided that well, we would do a brunch during the holidays. And given that everybody had events to go to in the evening. That's why we decided to have a brunch. We're like, we'll do an evening party next year. Well, the brunch really caught on because at that point in time, my nieces and nephews were little. They were involved in a lot of soccer and other sports, but it became just a really nice holiday tradition that we celebrated our 20th year this year. And it's an open house for people to come into our house to have brunch, all the favorite breakfast foods. My husband is essentially a short order cook for the holiday. He dresses up in a Santa suit and he cooks all the eggs and sausages and, biscuits and gravy and omelets to order. So that's like a really fun part of what we do. We usually have between 80 and 110 people that come through the house every year. So it's
That's
quite the endeavor.
amazing. I wish I was
Yeah,
close by and could drop by as well.
I know. I do too. That would be awesome. Yeah, it's so wonderful to see people that I haven't seen all year. And in some instances, people I might not have seen, in the last couple of years. And it's also a great way for people to get to see each other that they might only see, at this time of year. So it's like I said, it was our 20th year. It was amazing. And I really, really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to 21. We'll try some new tradition, incorporate something in there, but that's been something special for us. So that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And I guess we were talking about how, you know, the New York Times, Times Square New Year's Eve celebration began in 1904, right? You were telling me that it was basically inspired by immigrant culture of New York City at the time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a lot of celebrations with that. And on New Year's Eve, we did a pretty low key New Year's Eve this year. But we did have my homemade liqueurs, which my great uncle passed the recipe down to me when I had been living in Virginia. And so I make them quite readily throughout the year. And then, we were imbibing and enjoying them during the holidays. So they're always fun to make and to use for cocktails and just for celebratory reason.
Yeah, I loved your blueberry and coffee liqueurs. Thank you so much for sharing them with me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed them. So I think that's a wrap. We're excited to be back. There's a lot that's going to happen in 2025, and um, it's been good just easing back into it, Mickey. Right? We'll just get things going, and there will be a lot more immigration stuff for us to talk about. So if you don't already follow WR Immigration on LinkedIn, please do, and you can also follow Mickey and me on our personal profiles. And then every week we transcribe Rapid Fire Wednesdays into a newsletter that you can subscribe to. And until next week, good to see you.
Good to see you, Kim.